very proud that such wonderful objects appear in our amazing land to surprise and impress the visitors and the local residents. And now it is a challenge for our generation to preserve the nature and pay attention to the environmental problems of our land, namely the protection of flora and fauna of the Barents Sea. We must save this beauty.
Hey guys, what are your impressions after watching this video? What association, opinions, ideas do you have for the video of the second round?
I associate Murmansk primarily as a major northern sea port with sailors and their heroism during the Great Patriotic War. As a hero city that the Germans never managed to capture, and of course with sea fishing.
Yes, you are right. The film was partly about whales. But how do you know about the participation of sailors from Murmansk in the Great Patriotic War? In this video, they didn't say anything about it.
Exactly, they didn't say anything in this video, but I'm attentively following all the seasons of our competition. The team talked about the war and sailors in the first season.
As for me, the video of Murmansk team is really close to me, because I watched Andrei Zvyagintse's film Leviathan. This film has a very deep meaning and is greatly philosophical.
By the way, a mythological sea monster is called Leviathan in the Old Testament. Did you know that ancient sailors often compared whales with sea monsters?
And yet, it seems to me that we have a lot in common with the team from Murmansk. We are united by the concern for the environment. In addition, our Websen ancestors have lived in harmony with nature since ancient times. Our friends from Murmansk asked if there are monuments in our region that contribute to the conservation of the cultural heritage of indigenous people. Let's tell them about our Websen forest. It's an open-air museum created by nature itself. This is the land of centuries-old dense forests, numerous and various lakes, rivers and streams, giant ancient swamps and villages abandoned by people. This is the place where everything looks as if the human hand didn't touch the reserve nature, despite the fact that since ancient times the Websen lived here. They were self-made people who carefully preserved their language and traditions. The reason for the sparsely populated of these places is the primeval nature.
You didn't say where the Websen forest is. After all, its territory occupies 190,000 hectares.
This specially protected area is located in the east of the Leningrad region for about 300 kilometers from St. Petersburg. It's located immediately on the territory of 4 districts: Boksitogorsky, Ladeinopolsky, Podporossky and Tikhvin districts. The nature park includes 7 reserves, each of which saves certain especially valuable natural objects.
To immerse yourself with your head in this atmosphere, it is best to live for some time in one of 10 guest houses located on the territory of the park.
Really, ecological, rural and adventure tourism is very developed in the area. Local residents rent out part of the houses in which they live themselves. So, there is an opportunity to get acquainted with the local way of life in real time. Chemicals have never been used in the village gardens. That's why local vegetables are of excellent quality. If you want to, you can ask the hosts to prepare dishes of traditional Websen cuisine. Most of them are associated with fish.
By the way, we have some in common with Murmansk if we are talking about Finns. The northwestern city on the eastern coast of the Kola Bay is famous for its whales, as well as red fish. In 2019, Terebrika became the place of the foundation of the Whale Protection Park. In addition to the art object, there is the Whale Museum, where everyone can try the secrets of nature. You can personally take part in different research and walks for protection of the ocean and its inhabitants.
The Websen places are also famous for their creatures with fins. This is the Websen trout. Kunja is a lake trout that lives on the territory of the Websen reserved forests. Kumja is listed in the Red Book of the Leningrad region. A completely ban on fishing is imposed on it. For the constant maintenance of this type of fish, a trout farm is located on the shore of Lake Pashozera, on the territory of the Websen forest.
Do you remember, in the second round, we have already met with the water theme. Then, in the second round, our team got a video from Murmansk about petroglyphs. We have found out that an important place in rock art was occupied by features of marine life. We even drew an analogy with the totemic animal of the Websian, a fish. We talked about the fin, which became the prototype of the Websian musical instrument, country, which only the sorcerenoid could play.
Let's return to the Websen forest. There is an interesting village in this place, Noidala, where the ancient descendants of the Noids live. As the locals say, their charms are good and not evil like witches. This can be explained by the fact that these people, being cut off from the centers of a developing civilization, preserved ancient knowledge about the properties of herbs and trees, about the forces of nature, and the place of the human in it, longer than others.
Apparently, the theme of symbolism and beliefs of the northern people doesn't leave us throughout all seasons. And I would like to bring you back to the video from Murmansk in this season. The guys raised a very important environmental theme, the preservation of the ecosystem.
It's very good that you reminded us about ecology. I remembered that the group from our school regularly go to the Websen forest to conduct ecological expeditions. For example, Vlad from our first round team studies in a natural science class and is engaged in ecology. Together with his scientific supervisor, they study botany, forestry, and even ethnography.
Friends, you can see how much we have in common with our participating team. We are glad that we have the opportunity to study not only our culture and history, but also to compare it with traditions of other regions.
Dear listeners, at the end of our story, we would like to hear the continuation. How is ecotourism developing in your region?
See you next round!